Welcome back, everyone, to episode 18 of the Mexico series. So let's take a look at inflation. It's down to 2.39, and our unemployment rate is at 5.59. So if we go back and look at the graph here, still steadily going down. It's starting to kind of slow up a little bit, but that's nothing to be worried about for now. So, I'm going to try to do a couple things to start growing the economy a little bit. Let's look at our interest rate. It's at 19.75. So pretty soon I'm going to have to lower that. So in the meantime, let's see. Let's do about a $4 billion investment in general education. And maybe we can restart the space program. So we're just going to do 1 star in space propulsion and 1 in astronaut training, which really isn't that much, but it's enough to start kicking off the space program again. And let's go to crime to see. Alright, so the crime rate is at 7.05%. I know I can get that down a little more. So let's hire 20,000 police officers. And do we want to do securities and everything? Nah. Wait. Alright, so already our approval ratings at 91%. And let's go to energy. Alright, so we have a surplus of 177 terawatts still. Where are we with natural gas? Let's take a look at construction. Alright, so let's do about 4 natural gas wells. They're not going to be the strongest deposits of natural gas, but still, it'll give us something. So let's start looking here. Alright, so that's weak. We'll go ahead and build one from that. It's 2. It's 3. Alright, and 4. So we're going to stop at 4, see how that pans out, see how that affects the economy.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Alright, so we have more surveillance cameras, which should also help bring down our homicide rate, which it already went down by 0.1%.
I'd like to congratulate you in person for your popularity. The way the country trusts you moves me, and I am happy to work with you now and undoubtedly for many years to come.
Okay, let's check the inflation. So if I recall, that was at 2.38. So that's down by 0.1%. Let's take a look at transportation. Let's see, how much would that cost? Access for the handicap. We're gonna wait with that. Anti-hair loss. Actually, we need to start building our military. So let's look at our workforce. Let's go with another 100 workers. Alright, so let's check our growth. Finally just breaking 3%.
Good morning! I didn't come empty-handed. In fact, I wanted you to see in order to submit to you this economic contract which, as you will see, is profitable for both our countries.
Okay, what do they want to sell us? Bauxite. And we could actually use bauxite for our aluminum production. Purchase price 50. The only thing is they're not going to supply us with enough. 319,000 tons. And we need 824. That's really... But that's only going to cost us 17 million. Quality is not that great, so we're going to go ahead and refuse.
I'd be happy to. Sure.
Alright, just turn them down easy, and actually let's unhighlight that. So what about our dealings with Cuba? Can we improve that? So let's move that to about 20 for energy. Service, move that to 25. Industry, that's already at 25. And farming, already at 25. So we'll see if there's any improvement in our relation with them. Kind of want to go into El Salvador and see what their government is like or what they're up to. So we're going to hire Let's just make this an even 200. And that's going to cost us 1.4 billion. Let's double check inflation. 222. That's a steady slope, so have nothing to worry about there. Once that goes to near the 2% even, we'll lower the interest rate. Alright, what's going on here? Not interested. Not interested. Not interested. Only concerned with what's going on in our own country. Alright, so looks like the US and Canada are neutral against us. I'm not sure what caused that, but I'm not gonna be real concerned. But it could have something to do with our nuclear program. 189 days left to alright, so the enrichment center, uranium enrichment completed. So another 189 days to start our nuclear testing. U.S. discovers human organ cloning. Alright, so let's go to housing. Let's rehabilitate 5,000 homes. Check inflation again. Alright, so that's 2.15. Alright, so let's go to Great Public Bionics. So our consumption is 1.2. Our production's 0.371. Let's just do a small investment of 50 million. And see what the results are later on. Happiness increases. And let's double check our water supply networks. So how much are we investing? So our production's 1.947. We need it to be at least 2.148. It's really not that far off, but let's just do 490 million. Alright, let's check our crime stat. So we went from 6.95 now down to 6.91. Those police officers, 20,000 police officers have already been hired. Okay, military nuclear program, start a nuclear test. First atomic bombs are finished. We can now move on to the testing. And all the security and discretion measures are assured. This event is sensitive but essential to the. I just love when it cuts me off like that.
It's begun. World leaders are beginning to arrive at the United Nations Framework Convention of Climate Change, the UNFCCC, which will start in the next few hours. As in previous years, they are renewing their pledge for success and have high hopes in the new legislation, which could bring their neighbors to the table. The fact is that negotiations have already begun well in advance of the summit, whether with UN emissaries or between heads of state, and the future of CO2 emissions for each country are already forecast. Moreover, other resolutions are expected to be passed at the same time, especially the Green Fund for the Climate, intended to help developing countries in their energy transition.
Alright, so Mexico objective. Carbon neutrality. And let's go ahead and confirm that. The essential creation of a perfected arsenal tests are scheduled for 6 months' time. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and... Alright, so now we're down to 2.05. So... let's lower this to 19.25. Let's go to environment construction. Let's go with 20. Alright, so that's done. Let's go to research. I'll do 1 star for industry, which is 1.7 billion. Let's see, economy, law, commerce, literary and teaching, scientific training. Let's go ahead and do economy, law, commerce. It's 1.8 billion. Okay, media conspiracy theory. So let's go to that. Alright, so we need to deal with this. Alright, so Eduardo de la Las. Actually, let's see, what do we have? It's a scandal, fictitious job. Alright, so let's see if we can... Alright, is that guy, let's see. Um, Where's that? Alright, let's double check that again. Alright, got that one. That one. Invasion of... So, Guru. Okay. So, he's probably... There he is. So, we're going to put him under surveillance. We definitely want Guillermo to be investigating. In fact, let's just investigate the entire group. Australia network mole unprotected. Do you wish to pursue? No, we're not going to do anything there. Alright. Okay, so let's check. Alright, so that's down to 199. So we actually hit our goal, which was to get around 2%. So... Alright, so our rate hasn't even kicked in yet. Let's go ahead and check taxes. And I could probably lower everything now. Maybe just 2% to be safe. How is that going to pan out? Alright. I really don't want to raise taxes on too many things. Dismantle. Okay.
The target is in position and under surveillance 24/7. Data collected by our agents will be regularly updated into the synthesis report that you will be able to review on file from now on. Good reading!
Alright, favorable change of regime in Uruguay.
I fear that we will be spotted by the target. I immediately sent the agents in charge into the field and destroyed all compromising evidence. I have the report before me, and I have noticed that the cleaners forgot one or two small things. I quote, "A service weapon covered in fingerprints, and a mission order in good condition. The possibility that the police might trace the operation back to us cannot be completely excluded." The target is in position.
Okay, enough of that. Alright, so let's go ahead and check our growth. Still around the 3% area, so that's not bad. What about unemployment? That has dropped to 5.07. And the 5% range really isn't all that bad. Sorry. Alright, excess budget of 6.49. Let's check our debt. Alright, so our public debt is down by roughly a little over 20% within 2 years. Have a budget excess of 210 billion. Surplus of 8.23. And we have a quarterly surplus so far of $2.75 billion.
We have a problem. My sources mention leaks to the press that risk compromising yourself. To be clear, I fear they will set in motion a particularly lethal Murphy dynamic that will lead to a scandal. Ahem. In short, expect the worst.
Okay. Guillermo Chavez. Okay. Let's go console that. Alright, so apparently I can't do anything about that one. Guess they already stopped, but it's already come out that I've been doing surveillance on them. So, may take a hit on my approval rating. Alright, let's see if we can... Let's see how that pans out.
Off we go. Police, justice, and journalists have all found out. The scandal is breaking as expected. I know people who are going to experiment with what Lloyd and Simons back in the day called the dynamic of inextricable links. It goes without saying that the judges are going to love it.
Alright, the Prime Minister of Belize wants to meet with us, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so we have a good relation with China and Russia. Let's see what we could do with India. Alright, so that's already at 25. About service. Let's go ahead and bump that to 25. And we'll leave it at that for now and see how that progresses. Vietnam actually produces a lot of goods also, so we'll bump that up to 25. And farming, let's go with 20%. Alright, so that inflation is now down to 1.91. Let's actually look at the chart. That's a steady decline. Alright, our approval rating just went down. Try to drop this to 18.75. Alright, and tax on tourists in the country. Really? They raised that up to $54? Oh, whatever works. Alright, so let's raise sales tax to 4. What is tax code reform? Alright, so that's 79% approval. Let's increase the inheritance tax. So that's 79% also. Let's lower company tax by 2%. That's 65% approval. Tax on gambling. Raise that by 0.2. (73.5% approval). Is there anything else we want to adjust? Alright, yeah, I think I'll leave it at that.
Your politics are on the right track.
Alright, let's check the military real quick. So we're almost meeting our goal of 130,000 troops. Alright, so... Alright, we need to increase research to improve our technology, especially for the military. So let's do 1 star for military research. This is 1.9 billion.
The preparations are complete. The whole country is preparing to...
I'm not sure which policy she's talking about.
Good morning. I didn't come empty-handed. In fact, I wanted you to see in order to submit to you this economic contract which, as you will see, is profitable for both our countries.
Okay, let's see, what is it? Oranges again? Yeah, that's not going to really do too much. So we're going to refuse.
Do you think it...
No, we don't want a military alliance.
No thanks.
At least not yet. Alright, let's go to energy. Let's look at contracts. Alright, so far can't think of okay, it's Palestine. Couldn't think of the name of the flag that was for.
Demonstrations are taking place at this very moment in the country's main cities. All of them have come together in opposition of the government, chanting their usual slogans and accompanied by a few emblematic celebrities.
Your commitment to...
Okay, my poll numbers have really dropped, but that looks like the main thing is the economy. Oh, that inflation is starting to drop too much, so let's get some more people to work. So let's restart the employment agency. Alright, so we have our 200. Let's manage networks and El Salvador that we yep, that's it. So we're gonna do political spying and cyber attack preparation. Put 52 agents there and see what happens. Alright, so we got some of our approval back. And let's give a star to the handicap, which is 1.5 billion. Alright, so the police hasn't really... The crime hasn't really gone down that much. Alright, so we have a $3.84 billion surplus. See if we can negotiate with Germany. Alright, not interested in everything else outside of Mexico. Alright, so alright, so our growth has dropped some. Alright, and inflation is still going down. So unemployment went down. So I'm gonna have to try to encourage more employment. So let's do 1 star for young people.
I'd be happy to. Very well. What kind of offer?
Alright, we already have a 0 interest rate. Let's go to energy. Alright, so all of that was built. Let's go to natural gas. Let's see where we stand at in terms of production. So we're number 7. Gas production. A few more wells, we should basically overtake China and Qatar.
The vote was held and the reform was adopted.
Okay. So it's going to take a little while for that policy to kick in. Alright, let's just give them 5 million. Alright, still... Okay, we're still somewhat close for the missiles.
The preparations are complete. The whole country is preparing to joyfully...
Alright, telecommunications, new generation of fiber optics. Alright, we are not the first. Can profit. We'll keep this to ourselves.
You have to strike while the iron is hot.
Alright, Mexico's deficit is definitely lower. Alright, we got public debt still going down. Alright, let's go back to Secret Service. Another celebrity. Just make a scandal.
Off we go. Police, justice, and journalists have all found out. The scandal is breaking as expected. I know people who are going to experiment with what Lloyd and Simons back in the day called the dynamic of inextricable links. It goes without saying that the judges are going to love it.
Okay. Alright, no, we're not taking anyone out. Let's go back to... Alright, so that inflation. I'm gonna have to drop this by... Alright, 1875, then let's drop this to 1775.
Sharing this moment of intense spirituality with the faithful gives me great joy. On this holy day, I thank all of our communities across the country, those in major cities, but also those in small, remote villages, which are coming together in prayer.
Alright, so interest rate decreased. Let's look at our... Alright, so our trade balance... Alright, profits 286 billion. Alright, so we have increased our profits. Alright, let's see about aluminum, bauxite, electricity. Let's make that, nah. We'll wait with that, or maybe next episode. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. So, we actually met our goal, which was to get inflation down to 2%. It's actually going down lower, so we have to slowly raise everything up, and hopefully inflation will start to go up just a little bit, but not as much as it did before. can try to regrow the economy. So we'll just have to see what happens in the next episode. But I will see you soon, and thank you for your support.